Yes. Yes. I grabbed a tall glass of Merlot on this one with the ice chips, of course. The plot is thickening, you guys, as new secrets are revealed on the family business, and I just had to crawl into the corner of my bedroom to lower my blood pressure. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Ruthless TV, where I bring you compelling commentary on your favorite drama series that's more than just a recap. Now, let's get into some family business. Vegas saved the day once again, guys. And if it wasn't for those security cameras, Orlando would have been a done data. Y'all, if Vegas was my brother, I'd be scared as hell. Vegas is really scary to me. He don't back down from any situations, and he don't stutter. He told Antonio that if he shot him or Orlando, that them hand grenades in his hand was going to be the death of them all. And they know that Vegas ain't playing. I think Antonio's scared of Vegas too. He knows that Vegas don't care nothing about going to jail, and he definitely not afraid to be a martyr for his family. So he told everybody to back the fuck off. And of course, Antonio wanted to know what happened to his precious Vinny. And he also told them to deliver a cryptic message to LC that he will no longer be a part of his table until they found Vinny alive. So we know what that means, because Vinny has gone on to glory and he ain't coming back. And Vegas, being the consummate professional that he is, he told Antonio that you could have easily set up a meeting, to discuss this with LC directly, but the dashes are out now. And that's very interesting, because all things up until this point led us to believe that they would all be sitting at the table together, just backstabbing each other. But it's crystal clear now who LC's new enemy is. So there is no second guessing that. And this was very strategic on Antonio's part, because he knows that they got plans for Junior by way of using Donna to get him to fully convert into the Dash's flunky so that Antonio can take LC's seat. I mean, that's all they want anyway, right? They all want to have the power, the money, the influence, and the control like LC. So he and Dominique have already put their plan in motion to use Junior to do just that. He called Dominique to let her know that Orlando's plan didn't go through, so Vinny is still missing. Dominique is meeting with Donna to make sure that Junior is still on board to keep these batteries in his back and to do exactly what he's gonna be told to do. And Donna assured her that Junior was loyal and that he will comply. And see, this is what Chippy wanted to save Junior from this whole time. Even though Donna's no longer using drugs, she still has the same mindset of manipulation and just using people to get whatever she wants, including using her own son. It's interesting to see that after all these years that Donna still wants revenge even after marrying Lou. So she was set financially, but she still has this thing for LC. And I don't know, LC been putting it down in the bedroom with Chippy lately, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's just kickmatized. Clearly she loved LC for real. But this rivalry between Chippy and Donna, it's very real, and it's a deep one. Speaking of which, Chippy is bragging to Nene about her and LC did it in the car, did it on the kitchen counter, the bathtub, wherever the mood hit. That's where the lovemaking took place. But she was giving Nene all the deets when Sonia walked in, frustrated because Junior still thinks that she's a daughter of Satan. And she still doesn't understand why Junior is giving her the cold shoulder when she didn't really do anything. So Nene told Chippy it's time to let Sonia know the backstory of her, LC, and Donna. So Chippy went into their backstory, and I'm so glad that they actually filmed this and showed us the backstory, because it matters. It really does something for the development of the character, and it's just remarkable. It gives us insight, right, on how it all happened. They could have just as easily told us what happened, but they took it a step further and showed us instead of just telling us. Mwah. Chef's kiss to the backstory, okay? She told her how they all met at Big Sam's, where Chippy worked as a whore. A prostitute, a lady of the night, okay? Well, you get it. Let's just say that Chippy is no stranger to the operations of Hellfire Club, okay? Now, even though LC wasn't in there spending money, he was in there dropping off a package, but the fact that he wasn't spending money didn't bother Chippy, didn't bother her at all. And this is very telling, because Chippy was turned on by something else that LC had. It was his aura. his distinct appearance, his swag. That's what turned her on. And it wasn't the money, because he wasn't there to spend money. LC was in there working. So she was very forthcoming when she saw him, and he was intrigued by the fact that they were into the same books. But this is how they connected. So later in the story, she told her about how he came over to talk to her about the books, and then Donna showed up, flexing, showing off her ring and insulting Chippy. And we could tell that Chippy was the more down-to-earth one, and Donna was more moody and uppity. She thought that LC doing what he did and where he was doing it was beneath him. But Chippy was more cool and carefree, like a free spirit, right? And Donna was ready to fight for her man. She wanted to go toe-to-toe and round for round with Chippy about LC. But I honestly think that LC wasn't really feeling Donna for real. He feared her father, and they really just lived two different lives. And he didn't know how to get out of the marriage thing. So when he met Chippy, he kind of knew that Donna was not the one for him. He saw that Chippy was bout it. She was down with LC like for flat ones. So their bond was immediately stronger. So then we move on to Junior, and he's getting dressed for his slaughtering. He's getting dressed for this farce of a meeting with the Dashes and his mama, right? And I just can't believe how this episode took us on this roller coaster of emotions with some of these scenes, but she's putting more gas in Junior's tank by telling him that he looks like his grandfather and that he has another bloodline, like right from her side. And this is where she told him her backstory of her and LC and how she used to try to control him by making him get a real job like her daddy to take care of her. Right? That's pretty much what it was. Donna wanted to control him, but Chippy liked him just the way that he was. She shared with Junior how she planned on having this big house and kids, just like what Chippy has with him now. So this is why she's mad. But Donna put on that proverbial cheerleader skirt and rooting for Junior, rooted him on to victory, telling him to show the Duncans that he can be a boss, tap dancing on his emotions so that she can get him all gassed up. So now she can introduce him to her quote-unquote friends. Donna is wrong for this on so many levels, and what she's doing has nothing to do with Junior gaining his independence from the Duncans. This is all a self-serving move to only benefit her and her sick, tired revenge on Chippy. Now, we really couldn't get through this episode without LC having his own flashback, right? And his was of him leaving Donna. He broke up with her right before their rehearsal dinner, and the first red flag is when he didn't show up for the rehearsal. Donna was there at the church waiting for him, but he never showed up. But when he did get there, he broke the news to her, and she was crushed. She was pissed, but LC had to tell her that he wasn't ready and that he was in love with Chippy, period. And before he left, she screamed at him and told him that she was going to make him regret it. And fast forward to this day, she's still seeking revenge on LC and on Chippy for leaving her heartbroken. Now we can better understand the tension between these two characters. So the backstories are epic. They did a really good job on that. As Junior finished talking to himself in the mirror, talking about playing second fiddle to Orlando, I did a whole video on this last year, and I knew that we'd eventually come around to this because that's what siblings do, right? But before their special friends arrived, and I don't know why they acting like Junior don't already know Antonio, but that's neither here nor there. Vegas came to the door and he wanted to know if Junior was still gonna show up for work. He let Junior know that the family is definitely feeling the void of him being gone and that he needed to know where he stood on the business side of things, and handling the Italians. But Junior told him that he's no longer loyal to the business. Fuck that job and get the hell off my porch. He didn't say the part about the porch. I just added that. But that's what he wanted to say. He wanted to know if Vegas knew anything about Donna being his mama. And he told him, yes, I told y'all that he knew, just from the way that he was telling Junior to pipe down at the end of season 4, as if he was protecting LC. Junior concluded with telling him that he's going to be as loyal to them as they were to him. So Vegas left, and on his way home, cousin Curtis called him and told him that he should have told Junior the whole story, that if Chippy had not stepped in, that Junior would have lost his life. So Nene and her son Curtis, they get the award for stepping up tonight because they both encouraged the Duncans to do the right thing by Junior. Nene encouraging Chippy to tell Sonia what happened, and Curtis now telling Vegas to let Junior know the whole story. So they were never going to tell Junior, and this is why I'm so upset, because he's doing the most over here in this suit and don't even have all the details. People gonna lose their lives over this mess, and he still don't know the full truth. Right before he was gonna level up the playing field, here they ass come, Dominique and Antonio. And Vegas called his pops and let him know they've got a problem. A big one. And this is where I had to grab my Merlot and just take refuge in the corner of my bedroom. This is what we call dramatic irony, guys, because at this point I'm yelling at the TV and I'm wondering why they just don't tell him. Like, go ahead and tell him everything, because we know that Donna lied when she broke it all down to him. They didn't tell Junior when he was 11. They didn't even bother telling him at the turn of his manhood. Never told him. And according to crazy as Larry here, Donna was supposed to take this to her grave. To her grave. Look, let me move on to some more subplots here because my blood pressure is about to go back up. Larry called LC apologizing for screwing up their lives. If we think about it, all of this is Larry's fault because his crazy ass thought LC stole money from him because he was off his meds. So in order to manipulate LC into giving him his money, and this may make sense at some point, guys, but we're talking about someone who's mentally challenged here. So let's just roll with it. So he manipulated Donna into telling Junior about her and LC's secret. And this is where this all started, right? Of course, LC forgave him and encouraged him to stay on his meds. And this is why Larry needs close supervision. Where he at anyway? Down in Georgia? NOLA? Where he at? He's sitting up there all chill. How's my family? How's your family? I miss you. All this bullshit. I'd be like, Trigger, how you think everybody is? Like, what do you think? How do you think we're feeling? You caused all of this trauma and turmoil because you're off your meds, and then you want to be sorry now. And he said that he took his meds and he's staying out of trouble. So, child, I don't know. But what if he forgets? I mean, what if he runs out? Who's going to make sure that he stay doped up so that he won't cause any more chaos? Because the consequences of him not taking his medications are too great. So he needs a live nurse, a guardian, a handler, something. And I'm surprised that LC had time to even chat with him because lately he hasn't had time to come up for air since he'd been down and dirty with Chippy. But he also had time to sit down for a game of chess with Nevada, where he discovered that everybody in the house was depressed. Like the happy had been stolen from them. He told LC that Mariah was also going through something and that she thinks that London killed Harris. LC also got some news from good old Dr. Brandy here. She told him that his testosterone levels were that of a 30-year-old. And he told her that he didn't even take the herbs, no lotions and potions, just straight testosterone. He said that the only thing that he's done different is getting back out in them streets, right? So he's been a little bit more active than normal. And finally, we have Rio, who's getting closer and closer to finding the men who held him at gunpoint in the church parking lot. Nevada helped in locating Brandon's mother, so he pulled up and pretended to be interested in buying a car that they had for sale, just to find out where Brandon was. And she told him that Brandon was down in Georgia. So Rio is going to have cousin Curtis look into it, get him on the case to find out where the hell Brandon is and where he skedaddled off to. And that's it, good people. That's it. That wraps up this episode of The Family Business. And the pacing of this episode, it kept me leaning forward and tuned all the way in for sure. Again, I loved the character development and the storytelling overall. I mean, it's just remarkable. And the only thing that I didn't like is the fact that Junior is still walking around with his head in the sand, batteries in his back with Donna in the driver's seat. This is not going to end well. I just know it. But of course, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. And I hope that you guys stay tuned for my deep dives on all the scenes and all the things that intrigue us. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. Share this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ruthless TV, where I bring you more than just a recap, and I'll see you on the next one.